I'm excited to share with you my favorite horror movie franchise of all time and some new updates to it, while at the same time pointing out how I accidentally reenacted a scene from the comedy classic Office Space. Wasn't a good moment. Hello, everyone, and thank you for downloading episode 8 of the MontesMayhem podcast. You have a choice of a lot of podcasts out there, and you accidentally downloaded this one. I am sorry you went through this traumatic experience, but at the same time, I do appreciate it. So there's a lot of things I kind of want to hit on today, or kind of want to dive deep, I should say. But, I feel like kind of get the negative out of the way first. I want to end it on a good note all the time whenever possible. So, I don't know about you guys, but I like printing stuff while I'm at work because, let's be honest, home printers are just, they suck. I mean, you one of those average everyday printers or something like that at your for your home that you get at Staples or Amazon or whatever, like, they never really seem to work. Or at least it's me, like, that's my kryptonite, apparently, are those home printers. And, you got to stay up to date on those things, especially. And at work, usually there's an IT guy that can take care of it for you, depending on your office setting. Well, I've been using my printer for my eBay sales, which have been ticking up little by little. I sold a Mariano Rivera Captain America bobblehead. And the thing was, like, the guy who bought it was only like maybe 40 minutes south, but I didn't really have time this week to drop it off at the guy's house and keep the shipping money. I had to drop it off at the post office, which made me almost kind of regret my decision, because the damn computer, between the Canon printer and my MacBook, oh my goodness gracious, it really brings out how angry I can be at the exact same time. Now, I put out a tweet. Let me see if I can pull it up in the moment right now, where I say something along the lines of, nothing can truly bring out the rage in you like a malfunctioning printer that says there's a paper jam when there obviously isn't one. And, not my most viral tweet or anything like that, but I feel like that really just kind of hit the nail on the head right there. Oh, my God. So while trying to print just a friggin' simple label, I beat the crap out of this thing. Just hammer punches after hammer punch, breaking the damn thing. I wasn't proud, but I wasn't angry. Now, at the same time, I did picture myself, like the movie Office Space, in a field and just with a bat or a club or a sledgehammer of some capacity, just kicking the heck out of this printer. I wanted to destroy it so badly and get a new one. I bought it, I don't know, it was $100 maybe? I don't even remember. And I feel like it's the worst $100 I ever spent. Now, I believe that you need to get your value out of something. I believe when you buy something, it should work. And I'm just absolutely annoyed how, because lately I've had a trend of things just breaking down or not working, how just not getting, like, my value. Like, things don't work as well as they do back in the day. And I don't want to go through that wormhole of that debate. But my goodness, what I will do to get a simple, working, functioning printer for labels, and I guess other stuff. So maybe I need 2 different printers. I don't know. That works with a MacBook in the worst way possible. I mean, the rage. Thank goodness I didn't have any, like, caffeine that day, because I actually slept that morning. So I didn't need it. But my goodness, that was not pretty. And now I have a half-broken printer. By the way, I did get it to print the label by pressing the one button I pressed a million times before. Like, there's no reason why it should have worked or why it didn't work the first time. But after doing the same thing for the dozenth time, it actually printed out the label. So no harm, no foul. But my goodness, I thought I was going to just break something even more so. On a happier note, one thing that's in moments like that, in order to calm down, what I like to do is I can't just, like, sit down and, like, relax. I always feel like I have to do 2 or 3 things at once or be productive in some capacity. And one thing I've been doing, and I probably should have done it that night of the whole printer destruction debacle that night, is in anticipation, because now there's, like, for an August, this has been a pretty mild August. July felt like it was pretty brutal, but August feels pretty good over here. and I've been putting on a bunch of Halloween LoFi music on the YouTubes. And there's like a handful of different ones. And you know what it is? Like they're coming out these like these cute little cute animations. I can't play it because I don't know if that's like considered like a strike or something like that in terms of copyright stuff. I don't know how lo-fi. I mean, it makes sense for it to be. But I encourage anyone to just put in like lo-fi Halloween or lo-fi spooky music as a search, and just have it in the background. Whether you're having a cup of, your favorite drink, like your tea or something. Whether you're thinking about your decorations, maybe in favor of autumn, or you're ready for Halloween. I mean, I have a lot of friends, and maybe that's just me with the circle of people that I'm around, but we are ready for Halloween. I think springtime and autumn are kind of like my favorite times of the year. Like if we can just, after November, if we can just go like straight to April, that'd be pretty sweet. And maybe at like June, we just go right to September. I don't know. Kind of just dice up that calendar if possible. But this is the kind of stuff I love playing in the background. It kind of just puts you in the mood. It kind of relaxes you. Definitely not like headbanging material or anything like that. But it's just like, it's nice background music. If you want, to concentrate or what have you. I mean, obviously there's lots of videos while you're there. You can search on lo-fi music and what it is and all that stuff. But you know what? It's just it's just fun, good background entertainment for you. One thing that's not background and is very much at the forefront in terms of my favorites in horrorness, is the franchise Creepshow. To say I love this, I feel like would be an understatement. I absolutely adore this franchise. So I want to start off. Actually, I want to do this at the top and the bottom of this segment. But a new 4th season of Creepshow has been announced. Let's just scroll over to it. This is coming from Bloody Disgusting's John Squires, saying Creepshow is back for the season 4 this Halloween season with the streaming service Shudder. Announced today the brand will be premiering on October 13th. Creepshow season 4 will debut on Shudder, AMC Plus, and AMC on Friday, October 13th, with 6-episode binge premiere on Shudder and on AMC Plus, and new episodes airing weekly at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on AMC Linear. You can watch the official trailer down below, which was a fun, just kind of mashup of some of the chaos and the monsters going on in this season. One familiar face you'll spot in the trailer is horror legend Tom Atkins. Hard to argue with that one. Part of Halloween 3 and Night of the Creeps, who also appeared in the original back in the good old year of 1982, 40 years ago now. It's based on George A. Romero's iconic 1982 movie, Shudder's television series. Version of Creepshow is executive produced by showrunner Greg Nicotero of The Walking Dead. The show, now I'm kind of skipping around, the show originally launched in 2019, and it's a fun comic book horror anthology scare. Words can't express just how many different aspects of the show are like, hey, Nick, this is all about you. This is all the stuff about horror that you enjoy. There's the comic book element. There's the practical effects element, minus some of like the comic book transitions, like kind of cartoony things that they throw in there. Lots of monsters. Some of these anthologies they're different. Some of them are kind of funny. Some of them are just creepy. Some of them are just creative. Some of them are just fun. Some of them are just scary. Like, it's just a nice, perfect mix of the storylines themselves with different kinds of people, and entertainment. And they have, it's not in this article, but before this season, there's the 3 seasons. There's a Christmas special, which is like a little 45-minute standalone story. There's I want to say it was like an extended one, like an animated movie. There was like 3 stories, 2 or 3 stories, I forgot. And I'm forgetting if there's anything else on it. But it's just such a good show over the last few years. It's this and Joe Bob's The Last Drive-In has become kind of like the staple of Shudder, like their foundational programming that they have on the service. I don't want to talk about Shudder as a whole or anything like that, other than it's worth it. But these two are absolutely the foundation, I feel, in terms of its original programming and fun. Don't hit the mic, Nick. That they have going on there. It's actually so good. I actually have, at least for the first 2 seasons, I definitely don't have the third, I think. I actually also owe them on the Blu-ray box sets. Because again, I like all the extra features and all the extra interviews, the commentary and all that stuff on these, on the content I like. And this is a perfect example of how I love to dive deeper into Creepshow. To hit on the movies real quick. So the Creepshow 1982, the original one with George Romero at the helm. Man, this was good. I should have brought up the breakdown of the actual storylines and everything. So according to here, I'm just looking at some of the specs on this. So it was about 2 hours, 4 or 5 stories, with the main like kind of overarching story. $8 million budget with a gross domestic of $21 million and worldwide of $21 million. Oh no, that might be, well, the numbers exactly match. So gross worldwide is over 21 million, I should say, excuse me. This was the first time I saw Leslie Nielsen as a bad guy. Which was, I always know him from the comedy movie. So like, as a, being younger, like that kind of like threw me off right there. Stephen King as a wacky farmer. Seeing the actual creep and everything like that, that laughter. To me, this is just a fun movie to get involved in. Now, as I got older, I realized like how tough it must have been. Because say what you want in an anthology, how you like them or don't, or whatever the case may be. But like they have to, anthologies, not even this, forget this Creepshow for a second. But like they have to tell you they have to introduce you to a story and get you hooked into it so you care. And they have to do that, 4 or 5 times depending on the situation, really well. And that's tricky, man. Like that's tough. Like that's really tough writing right there. And for someone like me, I'll be very honest with you. I have trouble remembering stuff. So the fact that I only have to remember like maybe 20 minutes at a clip or 30 minutes at a clip, like a TV show, to me, I love that. Like it actually makes it easier on me and kind of enjoyable because I don't remember anything whatsoever. So the original Creepshow is really just in my heart in terms of something I absolutely enjoy, something that just kind of, I realized right away, I'm like, oh, this kind of like hits on like all the levels and everything. Like it just really did me in and everything like that. And I appreciate it differently as I got older too, which is really awesome. Creepshow 2, that came out in double checking really quickly. Great. Out 1987. And do I have the box office numbers? It had a budget of $3.5 million. And it grossed $14 million. So a success, but obviously it was scaled down at the same time. So this did not have, it had King and Romero in as writers. They were a little bit more distant than before. But, excuse me. But this one probably had my favorite story of all time. This was the one with the lake blob monster. And I don't want to go into anything, but it is by far my favorite probably amongst the entire franchise. My favorite, like one standalone story. Now, it was lacking the like the kind of the color vibe, the comic book essence to a small degree. It did have the animation. But it was a little different, so I appreciate that. I just kind of missed like the what would you call it? Like kind of like the in your face splash pages, like kind of splash moments with color. They didn't have that, but again, smaller budget and everything. I mean, $3.5 million to do a full length movie, like that's kind of crazy. So Creepshow, Creepshow 2 was a win, not as much of a win, but it definitely succeeded at the exact same time. But did you know that there was a Creepshow 3? Now, I haven't seen this movie, but I actually just picked it up recently. As much as I love Creepshow, I couldn't get a hold of it. And it was one of those things where I didn't want to like illegally download it. Like it felt weird because it was, it's Creepshow, I'm probably going to want it. But I've heard that it's the absolute worst thing out there, where like nobody's involved and essentially someone just bought the rights and they just made a few crappy snippets and put it together. That's literally legit all I can tell you. Like this was way later in 2007, and take it for what you will, but while on IMDb, let's see, did they have like a rating? Where are the reviews or ratings somewhere? Oh man, I can never find anything when I actually need. Oh, here we go. 3.1 out of 10 stars. And the first movie got 6.8 out of 10. And the second one, 6.0 out of 10. So a huge jump off. I will watch this eventually, but we'll see what happens. And then again, you have the Shudder TV series, which is, I think they were banking this show doing really good to get their popularity out there, get people to sign up. And then Joe Bob quickly jumped on board to kind of help out as well. So like they had like 2 big hit franchises to help support them. So yeah, I really don't know what to say, guys, other than like season 4 is awesome. It's worth getting your value out of Shudder to check out Creepshow. Just subscribe for the month. Subscribe to them. I wish I had like a number I can give you, like a code or something, but I do not. To give Creepshow a try, but it's an anthology you can watch with friends. It's not the scariest thing that's going to be out there. It's not something you're going to be talking about for years to come, maybe. But you know what? You're going to have fun. You're going to enjoy it, and you're going to be happy that you saw it. That's all I can say. This is by far the longest episode I've done so far of these, and I have no apologies because Creepshow is absolutely worth talking about. And I'm getting closer. I'm going to start actually sharing these things. I'm kind of feeling like I get a groove going on of doing this stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Guys, did you know that you can subscribe to me on the social medias? I'm on MontesMayhem across the board. MontesMayhem. There's also a .com. There's a Gmail. But more importantly, there's an eBay store where that really helps support me if you're able to check that out. Until then, guys, everyone have a good one. Stay safe. Watch something spooky. And I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.